Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're gonna be reacting to 11 things not to do in Australia. Must see before you go.
Yeah, we want to go to Australia someday, and honestly, I am curious about the 11 things not to do there because the first thing you see is that an alligator or crocodile.
I
I can't
don't
tell a
know. I can't
difference.
tell. But that's
I
terrifying.
know. So let's watch it.
Let's do it.
Australia is many things. It's a continent that makes up the sixth largest country in the world and
Oh,
is home
wow.
to some of the most dangerous creatures on the planet. And no, I'm
Yeah.
not just
That
talking
I
about
know.
Australians. With a little over 8.5 million people
Aw.
visiting each year, tourism is a huge part of Australia's economy. That being said, there are a number of things to look out for when you're there. So let's get right into it. Number 1. Don't stray from the path. With over 66 different venomous species, which is the third largest concentration in the world, by the way,
Oh, God.
it's important to know where you are at all times. Now, this is especially true if
Yeah, I
you plan on
bet.
trekking or camping in the outback, with things like the common brown snake, box
Oh,
jellyfish, and
gosh.
crocodiles. There's no
That's
shortage
terrifying.
of dangerous animals here, so it's important that you stay on the path when you're exploring. And that goes for warning signs as well, because while it may seem funny to some people from different countries, here they're very real and should be taken seriously.
I think that's very good to know, but also, I don't know, because here it's you can go off the path easy and you're basically guaranteed nothing's gonna happen to you.
That's good.
Like, I've never seen anything here and I've lived here my whole life, but if we went to Australia and I saw those, I'd definitely be more cautious probably.
Yeah, I would definitely um obey their
Mhm.
rules or the warnings that it says because
Yeah.
I want to be safe because there's people that is stupid. Like
Mhm.
they want to be adventurous and there's like,
Yeah.
oh, they say that. I'm going to do the opposite one.
Yep. It's very unlikely it's gonna happen.
Ah,
Well, there's a sign up for a reason, guys.
yeah, stupid.
Yeah. Oh, that's a cute birdie.
Oh, yeah, it is. Oh,
I love koalas
Yes.
and kangaroos.
Number 2. Don't underestimate the cost. Australia is known for having one of the highest living costs in the world.
Oh,
I
gosh.
heard
Traveling
that.
there is no different. Now, of course,
I've heard it's expensive, but I didn't realize it was one of the highest living costs there.
this is all subjective
Like
depending
US.
on where you go and where you're
Mhm.
from. But it still might surprise you to hear that a beer costs around 9 Australian dollars. And a
That's
meal
a
at a
lot.
mid-range restaurant costs around 40. Now, all in all, if
My
you're really
gosh.
trying to save money, you can get it down to around 100 Australian dollars per day. And I'll just throw
Oh.
that number out there as an average. But between transportation, food, and lodging, the prices can get a bit expensive. So it's important
yeah,
that
I
you
bet.
price out your trip accordingly.
Ooh, the waves are very nice there.
Yeah.
Number 3, and this is a short one.
Well, good thing we don't drink.
Mm-hmm.
So we won't pay 9 Australian dollars and we'll just eat once a day.
I can't just live off of one meal a day. I need at least 2, but I'll just eat cheap.
Yeah.
Don't say shrimp on the Barbie. Now, this phrase was popularized by a 1980s ad with Paul Hogan, who was later in Crocodile Dundee, and it was sponsored by the Australian Tourism Commission to try to bring in international travelers. But this is absolutely not what an Australian would say. If they would even use that phrase at all, they would say prawn, not shrimp. So don't make it more annoying than it already is.
Okay. Cool.
It's so pretty there. I love it. Very updated as
Number
well.
4.
Yeah.
Drink.
So what would happen if you say shrimp on the Barbie?
I don't know. You'll be shamed upon and they'll find you very annoying maybe.
They'll slap you.
I wonder if they'd just be like, or if they'd say something, you know?
I'd be like, no, mate, that's not that's
King.
prawn, not
Yeah,
Shrimp.
like what?
In Australia. Now for this one, I'm mainly talking about major cities, specifically Sydney, so don't quote me on the rest of the country. But in Sydney, you can't get a beer after 1:30 in the morning because they have something
That's
called a
good.
lockout law, which means no one is allowed in or out of bars past that point in time. And their last call is at 3 in the morning.
Oh,
And
what?
of course, don't drink and try and drive because they have one of the lowest blood alcohol content levels,
Oh,
0.05,
that's good.
before you can be arrested. And last but not least,
I think that's just honestly very smart. I don't know why people need to drink and drive.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
Yeah.
That's like suicidal.
Well, it's not even like suicidal too, but you can also hurt other people.
Oh, yeah.
don't order Foster's beer. That's not an Australian thing, that's an American thing. Instead, try and order a bottle of Bundaberg.
Never heard of it,
My
but
Aussie friends will know why I'm laughing.
What?
Number 5. Don't underestimate its size. Australia is a country with about 25 million people, and because it's a
oh
continent,
wow.
That's
it's
a
made
lot.
up of almost 7.6 million square kilometers. And despite the fact that the majority of its population is clustered around the coasts, in urban areas, it still means that as a tourist, it's going to take a long time to get from place to place. So it's important to take a look at
Very
exactly
large.
how long
Yeah.
it's going to take you to complete your itinerary. Number 6. Don't always tip. Now, unlike some countries, tipping
Oh.
isn't required in Australia. And that's mainly because their minimum wage is the highest in the world, at around $18.93 an hour. Now, in places like the US, waitstaff require tips to earn a living wage, because the national minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. Now, if you have
Oh,
great service,
really?
for sure you should tip the person. All I'm saying is you won't be scorned like in the US if you don't.
Yeah, here in the US, you're required to do tip, right?
Well, you're not really required, but they make it pretty dang hard not to now. Even like Starbucks now, they'll give you a drink for like, you literally will just drive up and say, oh, I'd like a whatever. And then they'll ask for a tip. And I'm like, oh, okay.
But in restaurants, isn't it required? Like 15%? Isn't it 15% or 20%?
I don't know if it's required, but like on the receipt it says like tip and then you leave however much. But
So it's still sad.
it's frowned upon if you don't tip.
Okay.
But also there's some waiters who don't deserve a tip who you still like feel like you need to give them a tip because I don't know.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
Yeah, like I don't want to give a tip if the worker was terrible. Like, I don't know. There's just terrible waitresses.
Well, the other day we went out to eat and this waiter was so slow and didn't give me my food. And I was like, okay. But I still tipped her. I was like, I don't know, whatever.
Number 7. Don't rely on public transport. Now, because Australia is so big and so spread out, public transport is difficult to find outside major cities. You know, it's not like Europe where you can take a train to a small town, hop off, and then hop onto another train to another small town.
Yeah.
Australia's just too big for that to be feasible. So you're better off finding other ways to get around.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Number 8. Don't talk about immigration. Now, forgive me if I have to generalize a bit in order to get the point across. But for the most part, many Australians dislike the way that the government handles immigration, whether they're anti-immigration or whether they're disgusted by the way the government handles refugees. Of course, there's all the people in between. But the bottom line is that immigration is a big deal in Australia, and it's easier to avoid the topic.
Yeah. That definitely goes for the case for a lot of different things too.
Personally. Now, Australians always seem to be joking around, and insults are one of the ways that they do that. But don't make the mistake of thinking they mean anything by it. There's a funny saying where you know that an Australian doesn't like you if they don't insult you, because it means that they actually think there's something wrong with you and that it'll offend you. Go figure.
Oh.
So take everything with a grain of salt.
Okay. Good to know.
Interesting, yeah.
Number 10. Don't be afraid to say hello. Australians have a pretty well-deserved reputation for being laid back. And like I was talking about before with the kidding around, they're good at taking things in stride, which makes it easy as a tourist to make friends. And talking to people is a must.
I think here where we live, it's honestly pretty easy to say hi to people and like, oh, how are you? Like, I go on walks quite often, and you just walk past someone and you just like smile and say hi and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's just pretty easy, common courtesy.
Last but not least, number 11. Make sure you enjoy Australia. Australia is
I
such a cool
would.
place with so many fun and interesting people. And there's so much to do there. It's important to keep in mind that these are all general guidelines and tips that I find out while I was there. And I'm sure you'll have a fantastic time while you're there.
Yeah. Oh, that looks scary but fun.
Scary. It's good to know the 11 things not to do in Australia. It was quite informative.
Yeah, I really liked this video.
Yeah, I really like it too. And I really love to go to Australia because it just have all of the things like food, nice places, wildlife. I love
I
animals.
know. It'd be so fun. Hopefully we can go there and it's not too difficult to get there. Anyways, if you guys liked our video, please like and subscribe and comment down below what else we should react to. And other than that, we'll see you guys next time. Bye!